Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing out there? We are so glad you're here with us today. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, brothers and sisters? Thank you for joining us here with Faith Over Fear. This is Faith Over Fear. You're listening to Faith Over Fear, and I am Dr. Mabel Springfield Scott, better known as Able Mabel, your princess of poetry and praise. Thank you for joining our conversation today on this beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. Today, we are going to be looking at something a little different. We're going to be talking about maybe a subject that we normally don't even focus on. When we talk to people, we normally talk about things that we like to do. We talk about things that are enjoyable. We talk about things that make us smile. We talk about our strengths. But how often do we talk about our weaknesses? How often do we share what really gets to us? How often do we end up mentioning some of the things that let us know about our shortcomings? Today, we're going to look at weaknesses, and we're going to see how sometimes our weaknesses help us to gain new strengths. That's right. Weaknesses can help us to gain new strengths. So, I don't know if it's the change in the seasons or the change in weather or the change in the atmosphere, but I keep hearing more and more people talking about they're at the point of simply giving up. And this is why I said maybe today we need to talk about weaknesses, because none of us are like Hercules or Superman or Wonder Woman. None of us have all of the strengths that we need like those Marvel characters or some of the superheroes that we see in film and on television. But we have to understand that things change. And although you may be thinking about giving up, you may be at a point of dismay or distressed or oppressed or suppressed or just stressed out. I've never heard so many people talk about being stressed out, not just adults, but children and teenagers and kids talking about being stressed out. And I'm trying to really grab a hold of how can kids talk about being stressed out? That's unusual, but you never know the way the world is changing now. As we think about being stressed out and just pulled from side to side and not knowing which way to stand afloat, we are trying to figure out what's going on. Why is it that we feel frozen in a big block of ice, awaiting for the beautiful bright sunshine to rise out on the new horizon and melt away all of the gloom and doom? We may want to watch for the sun, the S-U-N, and the sun, the S-O-N, to change and to really alter and to fix and to redesign our uncomfortable situation that we're dealing with. We need God to repair the mixed up situations we are battling to deal with as we simultaneously try to just make it through this ordinary journey of day-to-day living, as we struggle to juggle all the different balls and bills in the air. And we keep getting fretful. Just imagine the possible outcome if we just keep getting fretful. We're uncomfortable sometimes and uneasy and having that awful feeling of, I'm trying to make it And I know that I know that I know that I got to take another step, but we understand you're exhausted and just wasted and all pooped out. It's like somebody took a pin and just stuck it in a balloon and let all the air out. Psst. Many of us are just trying to fake it until we make it. But it's still not going to be enough to make it over the hill to the next level where we will be far from the maddening crowd and closer to the destination to reach our destiny. But it seems so far away as we tango around in circles like the children of Israel in search of the promised land, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, somewhere over the rainbow. Why in the world can't I? I want to fly. I want to be like the birds in the sky. And they don't have any worries. They don't have any frets. You don't see them flying around with gray hair and extra wrinkles and feeling all bogged down. It's because God takes care of them. His eye is on the sparrow. So what should we know? Then I know he watches me. So why? Why are we feeling like this? Why are we feeling them blues? The blues. The heartaches. Good morning, heartache. What's new? Somewhere over that rainbow, why in the world can't I, as I search for my promised land, when the rainbow isn't enough? 'Cause I'm weak and tired and squished and scrunched. Weak, not wimp. Weak, not wimp. There is a sacredness in tears. They are not the mark of weakness, but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. They are the messengers of overwhelming grief, of deep contrition, and of unspeakable love. That was a quote by Washington Irving about the sacredness of tears and the mark of weakness, which he calls power, not weakness. So what do? How do we deal with this uncomfortableness? Do we go left or do we go right? Do we make a U-turn or do we just fight? Do we move forward? Do we stop and pause? Do we contemplate and expect Santa Claus? Do we blow a fuse? Do we erupt? Do we just whine or just cut up? Do we stay squeezed, straight-jacket hound, simply immobilized in the lost and found? How do we get out? Who has our ticket? Where is our key? We're stuck in the thicket. Do we relax and sit still? A hero's en route. We'll all be okay, 'cause hero got clout. We really in a fix without a dime or a nickel. How we gonna make it? We really in a pickle. We on low and in pain, tired, plumb weak. Fill us up, Lord. It's you we seek. We halfway bent, don't know where to go, depending on you to fight off our foe. We give up. This is it. We barely here. We so drained, can't find a tear. On our last leg, we hop and limp. We crawl along, weak, not wimp. It's tough and hard. Get a proxy or temp. Need somebody. I'm weak, not wimp. Can't make it, help. No drugs, wine, hemp. Need the real deal. I'm weak, not wimp. Last call. Weak, not wimp. Final call. Weak, not wimp. Weak, not wimp. Weak, not wimp. The Bible talks about the Christians, the saints, becoming weak, but not wimp. In the 41st chapter of Isaiah, we find these words. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Faith over fear. Fear not. Don't be dismayed, whate'er betide. God will take care of you. Beneath his wings of love abide. God will take care of you. God will take care of you. Every day, all the way, he will take care of you. God will take care of you. And then in Isaiah, the 26th chapter, we find, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Perfect peace. Perfect peace. Steadfast minds. Proverbs 3. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Put your trust in him, and everything will be the way it should be. He will direct you. So no matter what you run into, it may be difficult. It may be a challenge. But who's directing? Who's the director? Hello? Who's following directions? That's just it. I am the potter. That's what God is. Thou art the clay. That's what we are. We are supposed to be molded and made in his and after his will. 2 Corinthians 4. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Morning by morning, the inward man is renewed. New mercies I see. Faint not. The outward man will perish. But if we lean and trust and depend and put our assurance and insurance in God, it will be a light affliction. And he will take care of the weight, the yoke, the heaviness that are on our shoulders. 1 Peter 4. Dear friends, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal that has come on you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. So don't